Hi, it's Patti Sampson. How are you guys? I am going to talk today about closing more sales using real estate lead magnets. Okay, so let's get started. I want to get through this within less than 30 minutes if I can, so please stick around because I've got some great info for you at the end of the training today. So let's see, let me get this thing going. Hello, wake up there. Okay, first of all, for those of you who don't know me, I'm a real estate broker. I am here in Arizona. I am also a consultant, a CRM specialist for real estate specifically. If you are a real estate agent, if you're a real estate lender, anything related to real estate and any kind of businesses you might be trying to create out of real estate, that's what I'm here for. So I've got a ton of experience doing internet business. Pretty much my entire business in my lifetime of real estate has been working almost strictly on the internet, but that's not to say I haven't gotten a ton of referrals. I've set my share of open houses. I've done my share of farming. I've done all that, but honestly, I just really got this niche for working in the internet realm. And of course, when you're going to do internet business, you really do want to be sure that you have all your systems and follow-up in place before you get started. So that's really where my niche is helping you convert more of your expensive database, because I know you're probably out there doing a lot of things to create more leads for yourself. So this particular training is going to talk about how to create more leads for yourself, because we all know it's a numbers game, and the more leads we have, the more chance we have of closing more deals. Okay, so let's get started. I like this. I show this in a few of my trainings because I think we need to remember what our lives are like, and also know that you're not doing things wrong as long as you're working hard, right? Now, could you be working smarter? Yes, we could all be working smarter. Even I could be working smarter. So, but this may be you. And so what I'm trying to do is kind of help you get out of this particular up and down cycle so that you are actually having some consistent pipeline of income coming in, because you can't be all over the place. You can't be two places at once. So how are you going to try to smooth that out and make your life less hassle? So reduce the hassle and the stress of trying to, go out and show homes and have appointments and do all this stuff. So, and then come home and take care of your family and write contracts. And, if you're like I was, I was working thousands of leads and trying to raise two kids as a single mom when they were growing up to get my real estate license. It was tough, So anyway, you're probably dealing with some of this. Hopefully it's getting better for you as you're learning more through watching videos and training and going to your brokerage and going to classes and stuff like that. So today's outline, we're going to talk about, first of all, what is a lead magnet. I used the word lead magnet recently, and this is how this particular training came to be, because I used the word lead magnet. And I thought everybody knows what it means, and it turns out they didn't. So I'm going to explain to you what a lead magnet is. I'm going to talk about the value of the lead magnets in your real estate business and how important it is if you want to build a list of potential clients. And so how to build that list. And then also I'm going to give you a list of ideas for lead magnets. So, and they are going to be ideas because you're going to take basically the concepts of what I'm going to show you of different ways, different ideas for lead magnets, and put them into your market, into your business so that, it works for you. And then how to capture lead information using your lead magnet. This is really, really important, because why have a lead magnet unless you're going to collect names of potential consumers that might want to work with you? And then sharing your lead magnet with your ideal audience. Okay, so now that you've got it already, how are you going to get it out to the world so that people will see it, right? And then maybe sign up. And then conversion is in the follow-up. So it really makes no sense whatsoever for you to be getting into doing any of this unless you have a plan in place for long-term follow-up, because we know people don't get online today and buy tomorrow from stranger agent Patti, right? So we need to get in front of them and then continue to brand ourselves so that they do start to trust us and like us, and then eventually reach out and work with us. And we're going to reach out to them too, but we're really counting on them to reach back out to us, and they're going to do that if we do this right. Okay, so first things first, what is a lead magnet? It's an irresistible bribe offering a specific chunk of value to a prospect in exchange for their contact information. So we're basically trying to come up with something that is going to get them interested enough to sign up. the goal of the lead magnet is to maximize the number of targeted leads you're getting for the offer, right? And then the creation of the magnet is the very first step to building your list of potential customers, right? So when you start thinking about the kind of things that you want to offer, and it can be a free bribe, I guess, free. I've seen people actually charge for it, something little, something small, but really just to be able to collect names, okay? So collect names of people who might have an interest in doing real estate. So that's basically the lead magnet. Okay, so what is the value of a lead magnet? So the first thing is to encourage signups of potential buyers and sellers, right? We want to get people to want to sign up, all right? And so we've got to give them some reason, and it's got to be something enticing enough for whatever it is we want our ideal buyer or seller to be, right? So when you're thinking about building or creating something, and we're going to have a big list here, you want to make sure that it's not just something willy-nilly that's going to create leads and consumers that you don't want to work with. You want to really focus on the people that you do want to work with, okay? And so when you're thinking about what that's going to be, you want to make sure that it does focus on that. It also builds you a list and a pipeline that you can use for future, because we know things that we do in our business today may not affect us until 3 to 6 months from now, especially if you're talking marketing, right? We need to stay in front of our people, and we need to do it long term, but it helps you build a list and create that pipeline. And then the other cool thing about lead magnets is that I truly believe it creates more serious leads. And sometimes you may not get as many leads, depending on what your offer is. But I do believe you're going to get people that are a little more serious in the process signing up for these things. If they sign up and they give you contact information, there's a really, really good chance they're going to be more interested in what you're offering. And if they're more interested in what you're offering, they're going to be more interested in real estate, right? If they're going to take the time to sign up. And so now you're just getting somebody just going, oh, look at that pretty house. And they click on a house, and then all of a sudden they become a lead. That's not necessarily the best leads, right? Just because they saw a pretty picture of a house, they probably just wanted to, see what was going on with that house, but had no intention of buying or selling. So I personally think it's better for more serious leads. And then, of course, converting is a numbers game. The average closing of any leads, if you're working on any kind of lead program, is that you're probably looking at 3 to 5% of your leads. So figure that out. You got 100 leads coming in. You're going to be really lucky if you close 3%. And I say lucky because basically luck would be what it take if you didn't have any training or any of the systems set up. Actually, agents that don't have any of that, they're doing 1%. So you're working your business correctly, you're getting stuff set up to communicate with these leads. So the more leads you have, the more opportunities you have, but that's only going to happen if you've got things set up to follow up, okay? Because you can't do all these things to do the follow-up and be out showing homes and going to listing appointments and all that. It's going to be really tough. So let's go through a list of ideas for lead magnets, okay? This is so fun to put together. It's good for me. It's good for anybody who is putting together. When you start doing training, putting together training classes, it actually is probably better for you as the teacher. You get better at what you're doing. But as a real estate agent, you just go, wow, that's a good idea. I didn't even think of that, and as I'm going through it, I'm doing my own research and finding out these things. So it's pretty cool. So I'm excited to share what I've identified, and I've used a number of these things in my own business. So the first thing could be 10 questions you must ask before hiring whatever Scottsdale agent. I live in Scottsdale, Arizona. So the more you can be specific to an area that you're working, the more people are going to probably be more drawn to what you've got because they're interested in that area. So that's how it helps you target your specific consumer that you want to work with. If you just said 10 questions you must ask your agent, then maybe it's a little more generic and they may not think that you're really focusing in the area that they live or want or work or sell or buy, okay? 3 simple upgrades to skyrocket the value of your home. So basically now we're just giving them kind of a little taste of something, but not telling them exactly what it is. So you're getting them to sign up because they're really interested. How can I increase the value of my home? So obviously these are things that in your world you need to do some research on. And again, I'm giving you ideas, but I want you to take these ideas and play with them, okay, to make them work for your market and your business. how to sell your home in 21 days. So again, it's one of those things, we're not going to give them all of the information. We're going to say, here, get your list of how to sell your home in 21 days, right? And obviously you're going to be adding yourself into that list of 21 things, or that list of how they're going to sell, right? And then a lot of people are doing this, a list of homes under or over a certain price range. There are a ton of angles on how to do this, and I would say if you're going to do this, that you can come up with things that are way more niche-y. I always tell all my agents when I'm consulting with them about this is that I like to see you do an ad that if you're going to offer a list of homes that is more niche-y, like something somebody couldn't go to Zillow or Realtor.com in one click and get the answer, because they're going to go there anyway. We know they're always going to go there. So if they're going to give up information, they want it to be something a little more specific, probably to something they're more interested in. And so this is one of those instances, if you really drill it down. So for instance, and I've told people this before, I live in Scottsdale, Arizona. I live on 2.5 acres. I had a spec home that I purchased. Actually, I had a builder build it after I saw a spec home out here, and I loved the house, so I had them build it on our lot. But there are a ton of spec homes on acreage lots under 500,000 out here in North Scottsdale. So, you know, what I would do might be run an ad, and I have done this where I've run an ad for spec homes in the desert, right? So who wouldn't like that if they wanted to live out in the desert, knowing they could buy a home on acreage, you know? So I may not get as many leads, but I'm really hyper-focused on the kind of leads I'm getting. And I may run that ad again now that I'm out here. It's easier for me to get around instead of the drive it took for me to get out here when I was living out in Fountain Hills, which is, you know, 25 minutes away. So I would like to work that area. So what you should do is go through in your mind, what do you think in your area people would have an interest in, right? That is not something they could easily go to Zillow and go, oh, I want to run a home list for spec homes. Honestly, I don't even think if they even, number one, knew what a spec home was, let alone, you can't just type in a search for spec homes in Zillow. I mean, how would you run that search, right? They would have a hard time doing that most likely. So that's why you're just putting it in front of their face so that they would just have to sign up because they're just so interested to see what's available. Home buyers and sellers guides, and this is a big one. I mean, everybody should be doing that, and I think it's you can do first-time home buyer guides. You can, you know, down payment assistance program guides. I mean, there's a zillion kind of guides you can create or get from your title companies or possibly your lenders. And oh, by the way, guess who has them that you can brand to yourself? So they're on a website. If you don't already have them, many of you already have them because you bought the rescue kits, and those rescue kits had them in those, so you can brand them to yourself and add in your own market information. So you can take those guides wherever you get them and put them on your website. You can use them for your marketing. You can post them in any of your social media. But my suggestion is not to just give them away. So I see a lot of people will just say, hey, here's a home buyer guide. There you go. And they just let them get to it on their website. Well, it's not doing you any good to have someone take something free from you without giving up something. So I want you to think about that, is don't leave it open for the world to come and get. Because just because that they happen to land on your site and you just give it away, that doesn't mean they're ever going to find you again. And they're, you know what I mean? And if your branding's not in it, because sometimes we get those guides that are, you know, and you know, from title companies that don't have your branding on them, you would definitely want to have your branding on it for sure. On top of that, other ideas: 7 questions you must ask during your next home inspection. So what's kind of cool about that is you're catching people possibly in the middle of thinking about buying or selling, and they're not quite there yet, possibly, and they're starting to do some research, and you're just going to, you know, put this in front of them, and you're going to catch them hopefully early on. Free home buyer and seller webinars. So you can do a live webinar, kind of like what I'm doing here, and you can also do a recorded, where they call an evergreen webinar, right? So after I get done with this particular training, this will be an evergreen webinar that I will put on YouTube, or I can put it in my marketing ads if I want to get people to sign up. So just so you know, the reason I'm recording this too is not just to put it on YouTube, but to use it in a lead magnet for marketing ads. So I could easily then, for my consulting business, so get you to sign up. So if you are here as a result of that, well, guess what? You signed up. This was a lead magnet. Okay, this is exactly what I'm talking about. So what's kind of cool is you could also just do like the 3 secrets. If you're trying to figure out a name for it, come up with what it is you want to offer, like the 3 secrets to selling your home fast, you know, something like that. And then you put together a quick webinar. And frankly, how do you do it? It's actually not too hard. You could easily just go down and think about all the things you talk about when you go into a listing appointment and just type it up, right? And you just put it on a PowerPoint, just like I did here, right? First-time home buyer loan program list. So there's a whole lot of that. I mean, or any kind of down payment assistance program list. And I would team up with a lender to get that. And if you can get the lender to help brand like a flyer or a list, you can work with them. And not only that, but maybe your lender, and if you are a lender, talk to an agent. Maybe your lender will, you know, put together the list with you and also help pay for some of your marketing if you're going to get these magnets out in front of people, okay? The 5 most important steps to take before you buy and sell a home. Again, it's one of those, hey, you better check this out before, so you're catching them early in the game, right? Makes sense? Commission rebate coupon. So I've been talking to a lot of people about this because they want to do, this is kind of important. Now think about this. A lot of people are like wanting to run lists for new construction in their neighborhood, and they want to get people to sign up for the new construction homes knowing that they're going to get buyers. It's a little scary when you do that though, because what's stopping them from going straight into the new construction home communities? So what I might suggest is that you offer up a coupon that will give them a rebate of your commission. So, and by the way, that's how I got started in real estate. I worked for a company that gave 20% back off the top of my commission to the consumer. So I got them working with me. And this is actually not a bad idea because of all the competition that's out there these days of agents. Everybody's doing this stuff. Well, maybe not everyone. You guys might be smarter than the average bears, but everybody's doing this. You know, why not get them more enticed to work with you, right? More engaged with working with you because you're offering them something. And you can do a rebate coupon, you can do home warranties. Yeah, just make sure that it's legal and your broker's aware that you're doing it and that it's okay with them. I'm not going to say it's right or wrong for you be doing it in your certain parts of the world, but it certainly was something that I got started with, which is how I had, you know, 150 to 200 leads a month that I worked with my company because they did the marketing and they took they took that as an offer to people, and people used us, and a lot of people used my services because of it. I mean, sure, they loved me, you know, they loved me, but they had an enticement to get started with me because of this. All right, so hey, think about it. It's you do a $300,000 sale, you might average about $9,000 in commission, and if you work for a company like I do, where I only give my broker $250, $300 every time I close a deal, to give another $900 on a 10% commission is not the end of the world. I mean, something from something is something, right? Or nothing from nothing is nothing. One of the ways you want to look at it. But so let's not be too worried. And this may hit a nerve with people. I get that. And your competitors will probably not be happy with you. But you know what? You need to make a living, okay? You do. And if this takes giving a rebate, then do it. Email or video series on the steps of the real estate process. And I love this because you can do 1-minute videos on step 1, step 2, step 3. And what's kind of cool about doing that is that you're not really selling, you know, you're giving education. And when you educate, people are going to be drawn to you, okay? And if they don't feel like you're being a slimy salesperson, this is a great way to do it, okay? Email or video series on the steps to real estate process. What's cool about doing this too is that, and I'm going to talk about this in a minute, but you can use this for retargeting later as well. So you can easily put that together, just 1 minute or less videos with a quick tip, or credit cleanup ideas, or you know, whatever your business is. Now here, on that note, here's what's something really fun. Create a PowerPoint if you're gonna do like I'm doing here, right? Create a PowerPoint of your video series above, like, so you've got the PowerPoint, you're gonna be doing the video anyway, and then save the slides as a PDF, and you can then automatically create your own ebook out of it. Okay, so you can go, when you go in your PowerPoint or maybe other software that you might use for presentations, and when you go print, you choose print it in a PDF version, and it will print out pages for you of your screenshot or your screenshots. That's a PDF, that's an ebook right there. And now what do you have? You have an ebook now, which now becomes another lead magnet, you guys. Oh my gosh. Oh, I just love these ideas. This was one of the exciting ones for me because, you know, I'm creating videos and training all the time, and I'm constantly thinking about ways to get people to talk to me about things. So this is cool, ebook. Market subdivision zip code real estate updates. Now, I love this too, especially if you're trying to get sellers. So you want to provide market updates for certain areas. So you can, if you're marketing a certain, and go for it and offer that up. And then relocation packages or guides. If you don't have one, I know I use a version that's from a title company. If you can get that title company to brand it to you and get it on see, you can mail it if you want. You can like snail mail it if you want to do it after people sign up. But you can turn it into a digital document, which to me is just easier to get out, and people like it, that instant gratification. Anyway, so can I have a sip of my water really quick here? So anyway, so you can do that. Real estate area school list with ratings. So where would you get that? Well, you know, you can probably get it off of like Great Schools or something. Even if you just send them over there, just make sure wherever you drive them to, if it's a digital thing or it's a website, that you create the search for them, number one, of whatever that area is that you're trying to promote, and then make sure that there's no other ads on there for other real estate agents or something. You know what I mean? You don't want them going over there and seeing other real estate professionals. If you're, you know, you're doing all this work and money, next thing you know, just check it out if you're going to do that. I have this thing called the buyer advisory, and I talk about this occasionally. Arizona has a document that is put out by the association. I'm just going to give you an example because you might have something in your own associations or even NAR, for example. But this particular document is just an example, is 8 pages of research that you should do before you buy a home. And so it is put out by our association, and there's a whole pile of links inside this thing. So what's kind of cool is that they don't know it exists quite often, so you can just go grab it, get the PDF version of it, and there'll be clickable links. So if you have something like that, or a seller disclosure, what about that? You're getting ready to, you know, do an ad, and you want to explain to a seller what they need to be aware of and the things they need to be planning to disclose. So that's another thing. I mean, it's just examples of stuff that you might want to. The other thing is within these documents, there's a whole pile of links. I mean, you could build a whole lead magnets out of every one of those links, for that matter. You know, run a search, like say somebody was all concerned about moving to Arizona, and they hear about snakes, or they hear about tarantulas, or they hear about whatever, all the critters, or expansive soil. I mean, these are the kind of things that are a concern here, right? So in your world, what's a concern there? Run an ad or post about, you know, get your list of all the things you need to know about expansive soil in Arizona, right? It's so easy, you guys. It's right at your fingertips. You just need to know where to look to get it. Hook up with vendors such as movers or inspectors and offer a discount coupon. So if you can get them to sign up to get the coupons, and now you've got your movers involved, you got your inspectors involved, and by the time, so the goal about this too is to have them refer the business back to you. So if for some reason they do end up going to that mover, or they do end up going to that inspector or storage company, or, you know, whatever it is, they're pushing the business back to you. You need to be aware that you need to obviously let them know that this is going on so that they're aware of it. And you might even do that with your lenders. I put lender on there too, which would be a good idea. List of homes close to a major employer. Okay, so if you know that a lot of people come to your city because of a job, and in our town, we've got a massive Amazon distribution center. So I keep telling people, oh my gosh, so Amazon, we live in Arizona. If I was really into doing this, and I think it's a great idea. I haven't done it, but I think it's a great idea. it's beautiful here, right? What if somebody wanted to get out of the cold weather Amazon locations, right? And I would go find an Amazon distribution center in, I don't know, Minneapolis. I don't know if there's one up there, but that's what I'd be thinking, go to the cold weather areas and run an ad or a post up there so that people see it and say relocate Amazon. And then, hopefully people that have an interest are working with Amazon. It's a little more challenging because I don't think Facebook is letting you know anymore about the employers, but there's other ways around that. And again, I go back, if you're going to do ads, hire somebody to do them if you can, because if you don't know what you're doing, you're just wasting your money. But anyway, you see the idea here, right? So I love these ideas. So take what these ideas I've given you and kind of apply them to your own business. All right, so now here's the big thing about it. You've got a lead magnet and your goal is to collect names, right? So in order to collect names, you've got to have some way to get people to click on something to fill out a form, right? So I'm giving you here a list of popular forms, things that you could use. Now, many of you are LionDesk users, and I know LionDesk has been asked a bunch about the landing page options in there, but there is enough software that connects with LionDesk. For instance, listing to leads. Many of you, I know this from talking to hundreds of agents who told me they have listing to leads. That's a landing page form. It's relatively inexpensive. You can build up whatever forms you want. And so when you offer the magnet, you got to be sure that you're not just going to send it to them. Remember, you're not just going to put it out there and say, here it is. You're going to say, get your list or get your guide or whatever it is, click here, and then they click here, and that link is a URL to your form, okay? And so these are different options here that some of you may or may not have. You have the ability to do it. I'm just not going to go through every one of them. I will just go down to talk about the Facebook lead forms really quick because Facebook does connect directly to LionDesk too. So when you are creating your ad in there, it can create a form right in Facebook. There's a plus to that because some people feel safer filling out information if it remains in Facebook. So if you decide to do it, but the problem with that is that you will have to spend money if you're going to do it, because the only way to get to the lead gen form ads is by spending money. You can't just run a post and to your consumers. So and just put the link in there because the link is built in a paid ad. The other thing I want to tell you is that I also build these for you guys. So if you have something specific that you want to offer, I can build a landing page, and then we can take that and then do the next step, which is connecting it to the LionDesk. So I'll talk to you more about that here in a minute. Okay, so now you've got your lead magnet, right? And you want to make sure that you created one that's for your ideal audience. So I'm going to go back to that again because you just saw the huge list there. If your ideal audience is not first-time home buyers, you certainly aren't going to be creating a lead magnet for first-time home buyers. And so just make sure that whatever it is something you actually want to work with, and know that it's in an area that you want to work too. Because if you don't want to work, 90 miles away from here, be sure that it's being seen by the people that you want to work with, okay? So where are you going to place them? You can put them in Facebook lead gen ads like I was just talking about. Excuse me. More water. Dry Arizona. Facebook boosts of posts, okay? So there is a difference between a lead gen ad and a post that you boost, all right? Because if you boost a post, you can put that URL link in there and send it and boost it. And that works, but boosting won't allow you to create a Facebook lead gen form in there. So you do want to be sure that you know the difference. And again, I go back to, if you don't know what you're doing in Facebook ads and you don't really think you're going to be so good at learning it, and I would say leave it in the hands of somebody else because you're going to save yourself money, okay? But you can certainly do a post or boost of it. And then you can also put it in the marketplace. So you could do a post of, get your list of single level homes in Scottsdale or wherever, and put the link in the post, okay? And then they'll need to, I don't think when you do it in the marketplace that the link is going to be active live. So personally, if you've got your link to wherever your landing page is, you could put it in a short and little bit.ly link, and people hopefully will click on that, and then they'll go there in order to get it, and make sure that your form is enticing enough to get them to sign up, but not asking too much information. So when we talk about those landing pages, that's a whole nother discussion. But you don't want to ask for a lot of information when you're offering up a guide. So don't go, for a lot of this stuff, don't go into, give me your first name, your last name. It's mandatory you tell me where you're, living and all this stuff, or their address, because they won't fill this stuff out. So that's really, really key, okay, when you're building these things. And then the Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, just basic posting on your timeline or in your stories. I'm starting doing excuse me, I'm starting to spend a little bit more time on Instagram, and I'm working on it. I'm just getting my whole thing set up, because I'm a 55-year-old lady just trying to get into it. I've been talking to my 27-year-old about how do I get on Instagram, because I'm still working on that part of my business, and it's important, to do video. So anyway, get it there. And then of course YouTube. Many of you got to me as a result of my YouTube posts. And so the strength of YouTube, and why? Because Google owns YouTube, right? So you can't, there's just nothing that you can, compare to. The other thing I'm going to suggest to you is you should be, if you're going to do a video of these things and you want to offer it up, you do a video to offer it, right? It's not the video of what you're giving them, it's the video to offer it and get them to sign up. And what I would do is go post it in YouTube and then natively put it into Instagram and Facebook. So natively meaning upload it physically. Don't take your YouTube link and put it in Facebook, because Facebook doesn't like that so much. They'd rather see you do things natively inside of their systems, because Facebook owns Instagram now too. So if you can do it in 2 spots, it's going to be stronger for you to be out there. But what's cool about the last 3 things on here is all 3 of those are free. They're not going to cost you anything. I've got an agent on my team who is killing it with leads in the Facebook marketplace. The problem with that is the responding and the people that are clicking, because you can click a button in there and it says, tell me more, or is this still available, or whatever. And what happens then is that you're dealing with Messenger. And so that's a whole nother story that I'm going to suggest that you get a landing page ready to respond to those people that might just click and not actually click on your URL that you provided, but just click on a button that says tell me more, or is this still available? Because then you're just going to get a Messenger response, right? Now you've got to deal with that. Okay, so just heads up on that. Use video when you can. And then I haven't quite got into using Pinterest. I mean, I use it because for all kinds of different things, but I don't use it. I haven't actually put my business in there yet. But I keep hearing this is the place to go to. If you run a search for any kind of anything in general, something on Pinterest is going to pop up right on the first page. So if you get a lot of engagement for whatever it is you're offering in that area, again, get back to that niche, okay? Don't do everything, don't cast the net over everything when you're trying to get leads, okay? So now you've got an idea of where to put your lead magnet, all right? Now, the conversions and the follow-up, and for those of you who know me, know that I hit this home pretty hard, because consumers don't get online today and buy tomorrow. They're just not going to. So I really feel strongly about making sure that you've got something set up to follow up with these leads for long term. So the first thing you're going to need to do is get that form connected into something automatically. So when people fill the form out, that information dumps into a CRM, your CRM tool. If it's not LionDesk, if it's Boomtown or whatever, Conversion, whatever system it is you're using, you want to make sure it's getting in there. And maybe you're not using anything but a mailing software, like an emailing software. You can do that too. And so, or if you're using send out cards, get it into that. So how can you do that? You use that tool Zapier, which many of you have heard of, Zapier, whatever. I still can't figure out how to say it, but there is a tool. Now, if you don't know how to use it, there's a lot of videos on YouTube. You can watch how to set up stuff to connect, but many of the software, so basically it's taking information out of your landing page. So if somebody put all their information in, and connecting it and putting it into your email software, your CRM tool, so that all of the fields, the first name lines up with and it just dumps in, right? So you want to automate that, because your whole life will turn into more hell if you're getting a whole lot of leads coming in and then you've got to manually put this stuff in. I mean, it could be a real nightmare. So you could put it into an Excel spreadsheet or Google Sheets, I guess, and then upload it into your CRM. That's not as effective, but if you have the ability to connect whatever form you're using. So for instance, I know Listing to Leads has got a direct connection to LionDesk. And so if you're using a Listing to Lead form, it will dump automatically. If you're using Facebook, it has a direct connection in the LionDesk. Otherwise, you might use Zapier. I actually am a ClickFunnels user, which is a landing page software that I use. And if you're at all interested in learning about it, please reach out to me. I'm happy to give you a free demo on how it works. And so, in fact, I insist that you reach me because I really can show you some awesome stuff that you can do with that. And then you're just going to be able to go from here to here. And if I already have them pre-built, I'll just share them with you. If you get a ClickFunnels account, and let me talk to you about it, but I will share with you the forms that I have already built. So keep in mind that you'll have that option too. So anyway, connect it in. So that's really, really key, because you want to automate this. You want to make your life more of a hassle with this, okay? And then I really want to be sure before you start running one ad that you get your drip campaign ready to automatically respond. And by the way, you really need to respond with what these people ask for, okay? So if they're asking for the guide, then you're going to immediately either redirect them in your ad over to the guide. And I would say do two things. After they sign up, you can redirect them. Many of these landing pages will let you do that. And also send it to them again in a drip campaign via email, via text, that kind of thing. So make sure you got that ready to go. So and how do you do that? Well, in LionDesk, if you've got your campaign set up, and of course, you know me, I got campaigns, I got them all day long that people get from me, and I basically give you instructions on to clone the existing campaign. So then, like you have a buyer campaign and you're running some sort of buyer ad. So you're going to clone it, and then you're going to just change out the first couple things at the beginning of the campaign. Make sure that information is getting to the consumer immediately. So when the lead comes into the system, it automatically drives them right over to the LionDesk or your CRM, and the CRM immediately identifies that it's from that particular lead source or that lead magnet, and then the system knows to immediately turn on this campaign that you put together. And it's as easy as that. You literally could clone a campaign in minutes and get one ready to respond, right? And this is assuming you got your lead magnet ready. So you do got to get that ready, right? And then be sure you send people back to your site. I mean, I always try to add whatever my offer is onto my website if I can. And why do I do that? Because it's great SEO and Google juice for you to have people go to your website. Now, how cool would it be if they got to your website and the guide is hidden in the back, or whatever it is, your list of properties, whatever you've got, you can preset the search. Just go to your site and run a search like you're a consumer, or if you're able to build a blog with a search in it, I would do that before I would just do it on the consumer side. And there's reasons for that, because you can do tagging and all of that on the actual page. And then that's going to be great. And for those of you who are curious how that works, go and run a search for just random search, North Phoenix luxury homes. You'll see me on the first page of Google because of doing this. So I drive people back there because I was doing ads for North Phoenix luxury homes. And oh, by the way, I did it for bargain and affordable, and I should still be on the first page. And by the way, I'm not running ads anymore. I'm not paying for ads. I'm still on the first page of Google right underneath. And it's AZ Excellence Team is my company, or my real estate team. So bottom line is drive people back to your site. So the more you can do that. And then what if you had, oh my gosh, exciting. What if you had a messenger bot on there when they got there and got them talking to you there too? Oh, that's a whole nother story for a different training day. But how exciting could that be? Now, be sure you send people back to your site also if they sign up for anything. If they're buyers or they're sellers, you know who your target market, your target audience is. If your system, your CRM, and I know LionDesk does, and my campaigns have these built into them, you can drive them back every 2 to 3 days or whatever you want. I suggest every 3 days and every once a week for a seller, every 3 days for a buyer, once a week for a seller, right? And you're going to automatically build that into that campaign to go back and look at listings or market updates if you can do it, right? And if you can't get closed market updates on your website, then I just send them back to the subdivision of the zip code that you think they're interested in based on where you were running your ad, okay? And if you're running an ad over the whole city of Phoenix, for instance, then just put a map to your city on there so they can just click on the map if they want to look at stuff. I mean, everyone says to me, well, why not send them MLS listings? Well, first of all, they haven't actually engaged with you fully yet. And I don't want to see you waste your time doing that. I did that for years and years. But it doesn't give you any value to send them to the MLS as far as SEO and Google and that goes, right? And not only that, but the link that you would send them it will end up dying and crashing and burning anyway, right? It's not gonna last forever. So unless you have a way to get them to sign up on, I know, like I was talking to someone in the Houston market, told me that they were able to do that, but I just looked at my clock and realized I'm going longer than 30 minutes, but I don't care because I got lots more info here to tell you. So anyway, so now how cool is this? Branding through retargeting, right? So now you've collected some people of showing interest. And after you get enough names or engagement, now what do? You start doing retargeting ads. So you want to be sure that you get a Facebook pixel on your website because I'm driving them back to my site on a daily basis. Every time that they go there, if you put that pixel, which is a code that you get in Facebook, and it doesn't cost you anything, and you plant it on your website's header or footer, it will track every time they come there, right? And so once it's tracked, then you can do retargeting ads in Facebook for the people that have been to your site. So that even if, for instance, they never signed up, let's just say they never signed up. You drove them back to your site directly and they never signed up. Because you could do that, just drive them back to your site and hopefully they sign up there. And I've seen that, but I think there's too many bells and whistles. We're trying to get that landing page between the ad and your website. If they get to your website, they may never sign up if you've got one of the forced registration things. So that gets to that point. Anyway, get a Facebook pixel on your website so that it will track who's coming and going. Or you can create a custom audience for all the emails you've collected and then upload them to Facebook and then tell Facebook only send my ads out to people that is on this list. Now keep in mind, if their email doesn't match up with what their Facebook account is, it's not going to recognize them. So that's, a little bit something to know, but create a custom audience if you can. And you can do both. I mean, you can do both. And then audience of video viewers. So if you actually had a video that they looked at and it was a minute long or something, you could say if they watched the video that you did to promote your magnet, you could say anyone who's viewed the video a certain number of seconds or minutes, I want them to see the ads. So that's really cool too. And I'm going to tell you, I'm not the pro on Facebook. Again, I go back to, I don't do my own ads. I just know enough to share with you what I know. And I know there's a lot more options out there. But the retargeting thing is really meant for branding. So if I was to come up with any kind of ads, I might use that 5-step video, series that I would just start playing. So this could be done twice where you created it as a lead magnet, but now you're also going to take those videos and use them in your retargeting. Okay. You getting this? You guys getting this? I hope so. I mean, it's really cool. All right, so let me hold on. This is the life of a lead magnet, all right? So the first thing is to identify your ideal client. When you're getting ready to think about doing a lead magnet, you identify your ideal client. You're gonna go create the lead magnet. And then, if you have to create it or get someone else to help you, you can use flyers or whatever. If it's just a page on your website, if it's a search on your website, whatever it is, have it ready, know what it is. Make sure your ideal client, quote unquote, your audience, is going to be interested in it, okay? So that's why I say identify your client first and then create the magnet, right? Then you want to go create the opt-in form or come to me, I'll help you with it, right? Create the opt-in form. Then you want to connect your form to LionDesk or your CRM or your mailing list, right? So you've got the form, now you're going to connect to your CRM, right? A lot of you, like I said, are here as a result of my training I do on LionDesk, and I give you instructions how to do this anyway. So you connect that, right? Get your long-term drip campaign ready. Notice I said this before you run the ad. I cannot tell you how many people have come to me and said I was getting ads through a Facebook ad or whatever, through Zillow, whatever it is, and I had to stop it because I had no way to communicate with them. So do this first, all right? And again, if you have good campaigns in place, especially if it's in line desk, just take that thing and clone it. Let's face it, they're either buyers or they're sellers. So all you're doing is fine-tuning the first few things that come out of the system. After a week or two, it doesn't matter. It's a standard buyer campaign, right? You let it run. You need to have it run for at least a year, ideally more than that, 2 years, because you don't want to assume anything about the person signing up. A lead does not stink or suck just because they didn't get back to you in the first week, because you don't know anything about them yet. So, of course, that's my training for another day. Identify your audience traits. Again, now you're going back and really trying to make a list of where's that audience. So your ideal client might be a buyer who's making a certain amount of money or whatever that. But now I'm saying go in and identify the traits so that you can get ready to run your ads, okay? Or your boost. If you're going to do an ad or a boost, you need to be ready. And then create your video, ad, or post, right? Whatever it is you're going to do, and you can do it multiple places. You can do it on YouTube. You can do it as a regular post. That's not costing you anything. You can create an ad. You can do it all across the board in more than one spot and put it in those locations that we talked about earlier, okay? And then get ready to do your retargeting ads, right? That's not something you're going to do like instantly unless you instantly get a whole pile of leads. I mean, I would say if you know you got at least 100 leads, then it might be time to do it, right? Because you're retargeting people that have already engaged with you one way or another. So you want to get a nice group of people engaging with you, okay? And then obviously follow up fast. I put this in black because I think that as agents, the standard response time is like 2 days. You guys, don't do that. Don't do that. Your follow-up will happen in your drip campaign, but also you need to pick up the phone, right? Whatever it is, you need to follow up. And if somebody asks you for something, then you need to get it to them. You're going to lose them real fast. And all this time and energy you put into all of these other things in front of this is going to go to waste, all right? So don't let that happen to you, all right? All right, so I'm just going to throw these back up here. We know that sales statistics are this. You need to be doing follow-up, 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 because 80% of sales are made on the 5th to 12th contact, okay? We know this. So you got to keep in front of them so that it consists of drip campaigns, phone calls, slide dial messages. By the way, at this point now, it can be your retargeting ads too. How easy is that if you get it set up, right? So just keep that in mind. And why aren't we automated today? Because it takes too long to implement. CRM software is too difficult to learn, and you're just too busy and you have no time to set it up. So for those of you who have been through my trainings in the past, I talk about the 5 most important steps for faster lead conversion. I have done training on this in the past, and it's floating around out there. You can find it on YouTube, and if you want me to talk to you in depth, I provide free 45-minute consultations to talk to you about what you need to do for your business to ramp it up, okay? So phone calls, text, new lead, email, whatever. All these things, this is what I focused on to close hundreds of deals in my own business, and I've trained thousands of agents to do the same. You need to have this stuff in place, okay, folks? So check it out. So if you're going to continue to be insane, keep doing the same thing you're doing, okay? So what do you need to do to get sane? You need to get an easy and affordable CRM that you like, right, that you're actually going to use, because many of us have crappy ones we don't like. Get all your new leads, prospects, sphere, and closed clients into that CRM. You need to auto-import any of your online lead sources into that CRM. So if you're doing any kind of online business, and by the way, even if you're doing open houses, you can get this to work. If you had a landing page, right, and when people walk into your open house, you can have that form filled out and automatically dumped into your CRM. Have the drip campaign go on. Have a text go out the minute they walk out the door that is you with a video saying, thanks for joining me at the open house, and the clothes you were wearing that day, right? I'll show you how to do this. Tried and true long-term email campaigns. For those of you who've been around and know me, you know that I provide these. They're already done. I've done this forever. Spent 17 years in the legal field, typed 100 words a minute. And you've heard me talking. I can't type that fast anymore, my old lady hands, but you've heard me talking. You've heard me train people. you get that I'm loaded full of information, but I'm going to tell you that from my ability to communicate in customer service through my entire career as a paralegal, I was able to get people to respond to my campaigns. And it's really, really important you have something engaging and not crap. A lot of these sites will set up stuff for you, or your lead gen companies, and they're really crappy, you guys. They're crappy. So anyway, reach out to me. Oops, going the wrong way. Reach out to me if you want to learn and have campaigns pre-built, ready to go. Auto-responding to your new incoming leads fast with email, text, and video content. Okay, so you have a system to be able to do that. And the other thing you're going to want to do, after time goes by, you might not get any response from people. You might have leads in your system that you created with your lead magnet a year from now that haven't done anything. Have ability to re-engage those, right? So if you got good campaigns to re-engage, then you want to drive prospects daily to your site, as I mentioned earlier, to create that organic online presence. So that if somebody runs a search for your niche, they're going to find you, right? Responsive email and text templates. This is different. Now you got people writing you. What if you had preset templates ready to go for all the stuff you get told that people say to you, right? And they're pre-built and ready to go out. Wouldn't that be awesome? Guess what? I got those too. And then daily searches to identify the hottest business. So you need to be able to search your CRM, because in my opinion, your CRM is only as good as you can search it, okay? If you can't search it for the hot and warm business, then it's not your office, right? You want your office to be where you go to create more business, and that's where it is. You should get up every morning and go into your CRM and be able in 1 hour or less to identify your hot business that you want to call and reach out to today because of the activity that's happening in there. So if you've got a website that your CRM's connected to, then you want that to you want to be able to get into the back end of that website and see what activity it is. You want to be able to see them open your mail and clicking on links in your mail and having them give you some indication that they're showing interest in what you're doing. You don't want to waste your time with all of the looky-loos that are just not doing anything with you. You want to focus on the ones that are and let the system run. This is a fine example, you guys. I had put a lead in my system. Our lead came in 4 years ago. No, it's 2014. It's already 18. So yeah, 4 years ago. And just 2 weeks ago, this lead came out of the woodwork. He's getting pre-qualified right now. It's because I've been in front of them all this time. It's filling that pipeline. If you don't do this, you're wasting all your time and energy and money creating leads, okay? Are you hitting your monthly goals? Does your lead automation need rescuing? And I want to be sure you're aware that I do provide a service. I have a real estate lead rescue kit that provides you everything you need to get automated, up and running, and fast. Okay, I call it the rescue kit because I do it fast. What's included? You're going to get a whole pile of campaigns, and this is what's included in the campaigns. I'm not going to go through them all specifically as far as you guys can read this, right? But they're pre-built, they're effective, they work because it's the same stuff I did in my own business. They're proven to get response. The same stuff that I've used includes emails and texts and video you can add in easily. By the way, one of my campaigns in this kit actually does have video. It's a holiday video campaign. Effective, get them open subject lines, high touch and pre-scheduled for months, as long as you want, because I'll show you how to edit it so it can go on for days and years, But it's already preset to go out. If you do what I've got set up in there for 2 years. Fields built in for all of your clients' information, right? And also to your website to drive them back. And then the pre-built templates already have the weekly, monthly listings, CMA and area updates available and automatically built in. And then easy to edit within your local market information, okay, with your local market information. And I show you how to do all this because you're going to get the training to do it all. So that kit includes existing database lead cleanup instructions and a free trial to LineDesk. Now, I keep talking about LineDesk because that's what I work in. It's where all my stuff is built. And what if I could give you a challenge where if you were in another CRM, and if you're still watching this, I'm going to guess you're watching it because you're challenged, okay? So, and that you might have a CRM you hate, right? Or you've got stuff in there, but you have no idea what's going on. I can't tell you. I train agents every day of the week, and everybody tells me I've got the setup. I'm not using it. I don't know what's going on. I don't know what's going out. It's not sending the ad stuff. I'm a mess, right? And I don't blame you. We weren't taught to do this stuff, right? So I'm going to give you a free trial, and I'm going to give you a challenge to take just 100 of your old leads, buyer or seller leads, get them in here, right? And turn it on and see what happens. Okay, I guarantee probably, I mean, if you have email, if you have phone numbers, it's going to happen pretty fast. I guarantee you are going to get some response, right? Our goal is to re-engage. Okay, so that's my challenge to you on this. But in the meantime, if you already got LionDesk, my friends, get on it, jump on it, okay? Export and clean up and import your lead source using Excel. So if you want to bring in leads from somewhere else, then let's get them in, right? I'll show you how to do that. I'll give you training tips on this, on how to do it. How to easily set up automatic lead imports. So now you've got leads coming in from different locations automatically through Zillow, maybe your website, you know, you're listing the leads, your landing pages. I'm going to show you the best tips that I can give you. And believe me, I'm not a tech person. I'm, like I said earlier, I'm an old lady. I'm not that old. I'm 55, all right? So, but I got into real estate when I was in my early 40s. And I only learned on the internet, right? So I don't know how to do it any other way. I'm going to tell you, I approach this as a real estate agent, broker, working the business, telling you that there are 10 ways to skin a cat, okay? 10 ways to skin a cat. Well, the way we're going to skin the cat is the way I've been doing it. It worked for me, right? I closed 42 deals my first year in real estate. And it's from the templates that are included in this. Are they exact same templates? No, but they started there, right? And they've progressively grown, and I've tested and tried, and I have agents all over the country using this stuff, and I can constantly see the activity that's going on, right? We know it works. So you're going to get your 12-month high-touch pre-built campaigns for your online buyer and seller leads. You're going to get 12-month high-touch re-engagement campaigns for your old stale leads, buyer and seller. You're also going to get quick and easy campaign editing tips to drive your leads back to you and increase your online exposure. Remember I said go run that search for North Phoenix Luxury Homes? AZ Excellence Team is going to say North Phoenix Beautiful Luxury or something, all in caps. It's probably right underneath the last ad, okay? And I'm saying this to you because I got there in 4 months doing what I trained you. And I'm now no longer am I buying leads, and I'm still on the first page of Google because I let the leads that I bought help create me more business, okay? Or at least get me organically up there. Let's do that. Brandable buyer and seller guides. So remember earlier I talked about guides. These actually provide you the guides. And why? Because my campaigns offer them up and I want you ready, right? I'm going to give you instructions on how to edit those. And then getting action, responsive email and text templates free. So now you are getting all these responses. People are saying, yes, I want the guide, or I'm on hold, or I'm working with another agent, or blah, 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 blah. You know, I've heard every excuse, and that's fine. I've got text and email templates ready to respond when people say these things. So you don't have to reinvent that wheel so that you're moving along faster in your business. Yes, everything that I provided can be edited too, okay? And I'm going to show you how to do all that. I'm going to show you how to clone campaigns and get everything set up ready for your ads and your lead magnets, right? I'm going to go through all of that in this kit. And then, of course, my best practices, tips, and tricks for tracking the hottest business. This is module number 5 in the kit. And I'm going to tell you right now, as I said earlier, if you're not managing your database, you won't even know who to work with tomorrow. So all this stuff is going to start happening, and then you're going to lose it because you're not tracking it, right? You need to be able to go in if you have 30 minutes or an hour, or you have an ISA or somebody to help you track this stuff, that they can get in there, or you can get in there and identify who you're going to call today. All right, it's as simple as that. I'm going to show you how to do that in my best practices, and I'm going to give you extra lead conversion tips, okay? Also, so here's really quick what's all included in a screenshot, right? So included in this is also the Sphere campaign and the holiday video campaign that is kind of a bonus, and it's generic enough that you can send out 10 different holidays through the year, and the Sphere goes out every month. And you can send both of those to any of your people in your database. And it's there to help remind people you're an agent, and also to ask for referrals. Cool, what a concept. All right, so all of this stuff is included. And then I'm also gonna give you a special bonus. I'm not suggesting you go in and start learning all about every nook and cranny of LionDesk, but I will say that it is one of the cheapest, most affordable services out there for CRMs. I'm going to give you a free trial for 30 days if you sign up, and then you're going to have $25 a month to pay. Some areas might have a coupon too, so if that happens, that'd be great. But $25 a month to get all of the stuff, and I'm going to give you access to go learn about all this stuff. Okay, so let's get moved on. This is just really quickly a few people that have already gone through my programs and have bought my stuff, and you can see they've got consistent results going on. In fact, Chris up there on the right side just posted something the other day. She has something like, I don't know, 9 deals under contract right now. She came to me, this was actually October 25th. This was a year ago when I first started working with her. And literally this was within, you know, it was over a year ago. So you're seeing exactly what she's done since she started. So this stuff works, and I'm an agent helping you. I'm an agent helping agents because I've been there and I know what you're dealing with, honestly. I'm not a tech person teaching you the tools. I'm showing you the one of 10 ways to skin this cat, all right, to get it done, right? So my goal is to 12 extra closings. What that really means is to help you close 1 extra deal a month. Now, you know how much you're earning a month right now, right? How many deals you're closing, how much your average commission is. You know all this, right? If I could help you close just 1, and this is a minimum, if just 1 extra a month out of your existing database, what's it going to do for your business, really? So I'm going to give you more details about my rescue kit below in the link. If you have already, got it before, or you've seen it, whatever, that's awesome. You might want to revisit it. The other thing I want to tell you is something really exciting, really, really exciting. In the next few weeks, I'm going to be rolling out an 8-week program that I'm going to actually physically be in there with you to go through it. And I'm so excited because I have found that people like having the ability to do a video training course, but also need a little hand-holding, and they want me to be there with them, and I want to be there with you. So I'm excited about this, and you're going to keep an eye out for this, because the combination between the purchase when you get into the kit and then me coming in to help you. I'm also at this point, because it's not rolled out, the 8-week course isn't rolled out yet. So if you're interested right now, and this is November 9th, 2018 right now, if you're interested now, go ahead and buy it. You can get 4 hours with me. I've added that on. It's an add-on if you want. That would be one-on-one. But I'm telling you, this 8-week course is going to get you up and running. And I'm going to talk about November now because it's 2018. This is the time of the year that we need to start planning for doing better in the coming year. So whatever year you're watching this video, you want to plan. You need to get yourself up and running. And so this is the time. It's quiet right now. We're coming into the holidays. It's going to start getting busy again mid-December. We know that, right? So let's get you up and running, and let's work smarter and not harder, right? So I'm here for you because that's what I do every day. I've worked with thousands of agents, and I still do every day of the week. I know exactly what you're dealing with. And by the way, I also do my own real estate occasionally. I don't want to do it every day. I'd rather be here talking to you, but you guys, get your acting gear, okay? All right, I think I'm going to stop now, but I do want you to take the opportunity to learn more about the Lead Rescue Kit, okay? So click on the link below. If you haven't already seen it, bought it, go back in and check it, whatever. And then explore the opportunity to come into my week course, okay? Because I will be there for you. I will help you through this. If you're challenged in tech ways or video training, whatever it is, I will hold you accountable. You tell me what you want, and we will get it done, all right? All right, I'm Patti Sampson. I want to thank you again for joining me here at exposedagent.com, my company that I built to help agents close more of their expensive real estate leads out of your existing database. Let's start working harder, smarter. Let's stop working harder. Let's start working smarter. Okay, guys. Thank you so much. I look forward to helping you out and seeing you in the rescue kit. Have a great day. Bye-bye.